Good afternoon, my sweet, adorable sisters. I am so happy to be back with you again today. And we're going to have some fun. I've got a great topic for you, which kind of piggybacks off of what I spoke about last week, about being intentional in our lives, really tapping into our power, rather than just responding and reacting and like a dog chasing their tail. So first of all, I'm going to hit my little bowl that I love, my little solar plexus bowl, to start our session. Can you see her? There she is. And this week I'm going to use a little oil that is from my soul vows to anoint. I'm creating sacred space, which I always do before I share with you, because I just want to be in just complete bliss as I open my heart and share the love from me to you. And I want you to be able to feel that. So this oil is just, it's frankincense and rose and lemongrass. It's heavenly. So I had posted about the topic that I wanted to get into, which was impulse versus intention. So much of what we do comes from our conditioned thinking. It's that impulse that pushes us to step into something quickly, to respond quickly, to react harshly. And that impulse is really just that ego, which I talked about with you last week. You met Louise, and she's here again today. She's right here. She loves impulse. She loves being predictable. She loves being controlling. But you know what? There's another way to live, rather than allowing that ego to constantly be in charge, to constantly control, to predict every movement, every response that you're going to make. And that's by living with intention. And intention is when you talk to that voice of the ego and you say, wait a minute, I'm going to push you aside for a moment, because I know that there's more to my truth, and I know there's more to me than just what you're saying to me. So Louise is going to be quiet. I'm going to say, Louise, I want you to settle down, and I want you to hear these words. Your intention is about expansion. It is about tapping into the truth that's buried within you. It's about a higher knowledge, a higher knowing that we all have. Every single one of us has intention. And it's just a matter of learning how to tap into that intention so that you can use it to guide you in anything you want to do. When you set an intention, it's so powerful that chances are you're going to manifest in your life anything that you set an intention for. Yeah, it requires action steps. I mean, you can't just set an intention and go sit on your ass and think that nothing's going to happen. But if you set the intention and then you start to think methodically about the steps that you could take to make that intention happen, guess what? Now that energy goes into motion. And that's really what powerful living as a woman is all about. Tonight we have a full moon at like 8:56 p.m. or something. It's a Scorpio moon. What's important about the full moon tonight is that any intentions that you set tonight for yourself in that moonlight, if you go outside and say, Yes, this is what I want to create in my life. This is what I want to do. This is the type of love I want. This is the kind of relationship I'm looking for. This is how I want to feel. If you go out and put those seeds out in this full moon, chances are they will grow in your garden. They will happen. Because it's the energy that's happening right now is so transformative. It's working for us, not against us. I pulled a chakra card that I thought would be fun kind of as a guide on how you want to live your week. And lo and behold, the card that I pulled is so in alignment with the action of impulse versus intention and this full moon tonight. I mean, these things just, there's no explanation for how all of this happens. But the card is about flexibility. And flexibility comes from the sacral chakra. So I want you to think about that's where your creativity and flexibility is. And let me just read you the message on this card. And just hold on to these words this whole week as you go about your business. And especially when you're thinking of creating some new intentions tonight. You have called upon this card today, flexibility, to encourage you to invite more flexibility into your world. The nature of life and our experiences are constantly inviting us to find a state of flexibility. When you can surrender to these messages, they will allow and embody a more flexible state of being. This will bring an abundance of ease and grace as you find yourself in flow. Living in intention is living in flow. Have you been feeling a little rigid in your thoughts or ideas lately? Rigid is my friend here, Louise. That's rigid. Maybe even a little stuck in your ways? So if it's time to practice the art of flexibility, you may be holding on to something in your life a little too tightly, and now's the time to let it go and allow some new energy to flow in. This, again, is about that energy of intention. It's easy to get caught up with trivial ideas and thoughts, especially if you have strong belief systems in place in your life. However, at this time, it will be beneficial and very healing to look at some of these outdated ways and beliefs that could be wreaking havoc in your life. It's those old beliefs that are buried in our ego, those familiar conditions that we were all taught and grew up with that no longer serve us, that create our block of energy and our flow. That is what you need to let go of. Take some time to tune in and see what no longer serves you and take the steps to bring a little more flexibility. This card could also mean you're being too rigid with a particular person and that it's time to give them a little slack. How about if maybe that person that you're being too rigid with is you? I know that I'm the one that holds myself back when I do so. I've grown a lot in the last few years, and I'm very conscious of when I get in my own way and when I'm holding myself back. And that's when I do these practices, the ones that I'm sharing with you, to open myself up again, to plant the seeds that I want, to get out in that full moon and say, yes, this is what I want, bring it on. I mean, today I finished writing the first draft of my new book. I am like on the moon, broken open. It's the first draft is done. Now I got to get into the nitty gritty and the deep edits, but so be it. I have a first draft of a new book. That is huge. So ladies, please tonight, set some new intentions for yourself. Let go of the rigidity. Let go of old ideas and patterns that no longer serve you, that cause that impulse to react, and start to to respond with intentions, to live with ease and grace. I love sharing with you. Louise loves coming on the screen now. She's very happy with being out of the bag. So have a great week, and I will see you again next Sunday. I'm going to be here every single week at 5 o'clock, sharing with you the best lessons that I know that have dramatically changed the quality of my life and many other women that I've worked with. Bless you. Have a great week.